What's your name? What's your name? Zabo? Ooh, that's different. What's your name? What's your name? Zabo? Ooh, that's different.
Welcome, 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 guys. Thank you for joining us here today at Nothing But the Truth. I am Shanita. I am here with our special guest today. He is the rap artist known as Big Jig. You can find him at BIGG underscore JIGG on Instagram. And you got a YouTube?
Yeah, official Big Jig.
Oh, I forgot your name. Put your headphones
Oh, where they at?
right there. Yeah. And give me your social media.
Y'all can follow me at BIGG underscore JIGG on Instagram.
Put the mic up to your mouth. Yeah. There you go.
Y'all can follow me BIGG underscore JIGG on Instagram. Pretty much anything. You can go to Google and type in Big Jig. It's going to take you everywhere. You know what I mean? To my Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, everything the same.
You can talk normal. It can pick you up. Just put you good like that. You
Okay.
ain't gotta lead to it.
Okay. Yes, guys. So, and Big Jeff is on the way. Of course, you know, the pilot is on the way. But he didn't want us to leave you guys waiting. So, we wanted to go ahead and start the show today. Of course, we thank you guys for tuning in. And we wanted to first off start with a moment of silence again for Miss Jada West. Miss Jada West was the 12-year-old child student killed. She lost her life recently after a fight in Douglas County getting off of the school bus.
Wow.
Her parents had reported bullying before to the school officials. She was new to the area, and she had been being bullied by some students in that area who later on ended up riding the bus to her bus stop. And allegedly, these kids weren't even at the correct bus stop. And she was going to a Douglas County school. However, and she rode a Douglas County school bus. However, the Douglas County schools said that they're not going to pursue the charges, which is weird to me. They said because the bus stop is out of their jurisdiction. What?
Wow. Wow.
So that is something that is leading to our topic for today. And it seems like when accountability is on the table, people will find a reason to deflect that accountability.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to look more into why and what was going on with the what was going on as far as why the school system declined to take these charges, yet it really started on their school bus. The bullying complaints started in their schools, but yet they're deflecting the accountability and saying we're not pressing charges on this because the actual bus stop was out of our jurisdiction. So I did some investigating of my own. I contacted the Villa Rica Police Department because Villa Rica Police Department have now said, you know what, we feel like there's something we need to look into. He did make it very clear, the officer that I spoke with, he made it very clear that he was not negating the fact that the other law enforcement did or didn't do what they were supposed to do, because for some reason when officers they don't like to go against each other pretty much. They like to, just say, well, we're going to check into it, even though this other jurisdiction declined to do anything about it. But the Douglas County DA, Dahlia Racine, she did say allegedly, this is what I heard, that she did say that she would look at whatever evidence that the Villa Rica Police Department was able to produce and see if there's any thing to substantiate charging someone with a crime before she decides to take up any charges. So my question to the Villa Rica police staff was, how is it that the school was in Douglas County? Villa Rica is in Carroll County. I'm very familiar with that county. And they're in Carroll County. So my question was, how can you guys decide, okay, we'll take over this case and we'll look more into it versus letting Douglas County, who has declined, say, So the answer that I was given, and to make a long story short, the answer that I was given was that Villa Rica said that the actual bus stop was actually in their jurisdiction. So that's why Villa Rica is saying, hey, we can take these charges. We can look into these charges to see why, to see what happened, because when we check the jurisdiction, the city lines, the bus stop is actually in our city limit. So that brings me as a parent to say, like, why didn't the parents know this? Like, if the bus stop is in the city limits of Carroll County, why is the child not going to school in Carroll County? That didn't make any sense to me, that Douglas County is not taking these, Douglas County is not, pressing these charges or doing the investigation, but Carroll County is. So if that's the case, why is the child not in Carroll County School District? So that all of that didn't make sense. So I don't know if that was a way of deflecting the responsibility and the accountability of seeing who was responsible for this child's death. But at the end of the day, there's a 12-year-old child that is deceased after a fight that shouldn't have even taken place.
That's right.
So I think it is time to stand up and change these bullying laws. Georgia has a bullying problem, and we know that, and I've reported it myself. So we do know that in school, Georgia has a bullying problem. Georgia also has an accountability problem, but that seems to go in different scenarios, which our guest here today, Big Jig, he is a victim that had a recent botched rape at his home. We're going to play the video and let you guys see a little bit of what happened to him. He's been on the news all over Atlanta lately, talking about his story. And we're going to play that right now so you guys can see what happened to him.
His home, but he was not the intended target. Chase Howell shared this video explaining what happened.
A Metro Atlanta rapper says his home was wrongly raided. Let's get into it. This guy right here, Jeffrey Thurston, aka Big Jig in the rap industry, tells me that the U.S. Marshals kicked in his front door, then pointed guns at him, ordering him down the stairs and out of his house. You want to know why? Well, the U.S. Marshals tell me it's all because of this woman right here, Alexis Miller. They say that she violated her bond conditions after she allegedly killed a man in Houston, and that her name actually was associated with Thurston's address in McDonough. Thurston denies ever knowing Miller, and the U.S. Marshals actually co-signed what he says, but now Thurston says he's left here with PTSD, a broken door, and the demand for justice.
You can watch more stories like this. Rapper says U.S. Marshals raided his home, but he was not the intended target. Chase Howell shared this video explaining what happened.
Okay. So you guys just saw what happened to him, right? His house was raided.
A botched rape.
A botched raid. Kicked in his door. Didn't produce a search warrant. He said that they didn't even show him a search warrant at all. Matter of fact, he didn't even have time to use the restroom properly. They came in his house. They didn't give him time to open the door. But I'll let him tell you his story. Talk to him, Jed.
Yeah, man, this been going on for y'all been all over the news for the last week or so, man. You know, I am a known recording artist by the name of Big Jig, but my real name is Jeffrey as well. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, crazy situation. It was last Wednesday, like March 11th, last Wednesday. It was a situation where, of course, I was asleep. It was like 6 in the morning, and they came. Well, they came, and when they came, of course, I was asleep. So when I was actually in the bed, and my whole house was shaking. So when my whole house was shaking, I woke up, and I'm like, damn, why is my house shaking? So I got up and I seen nothing but lights coming out my blinds. So I said, I got up and creeped and looked at the blinds. It was like 50 squad cars, U.S. Marshals, Henry County. So I called 911 because I'm like, hey, what is going on? Like, why y'all got my house, like this? So the dispatch was like, well, what's your address? So I gave her my address, and she said, I don't know. I said, well, ma'am, respectfully, she said, just go downstairs and see. I said, respectfully, ma'am, I'm disabled, and it's 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm up and I got a big ass crib, two-story crib. So I'm like, I gotta go down the stairs. So she like, well, that's all I can tell you. So the whole time, I'm hearing boom, 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 boom. U.S. Marshal, we got an arrest warrant. I'm like, arrest warrant? So I get to the top of the stairs, and I'm about to take a step down. Boom! They knocked the whole door off the hinges. Freeze, put your hands. I'm like, so I'm putting my hands up. They like, put your hands in the air. So I got my phone in my hand. I said, the last thing I need to do is let them see this phone. They're gonna Swiss cheese me. So I said, I slid the phone in my pocket. Put your hands up. I said, look, man, I can't walk. I can't run down the stairs like normal. I said, because I got a prosthetic on my foot. So I'm walking down. He's steady like, put your hands on. I'm like, man, I'm handicapped, bro. I'm disabled. So I'm walking down. So when I get down to the bottom stairs, I'm asking them like, yo, what is y'all doing? One of the agents like grabbed me and just tugged me out. And when he tugged me out, of course now, I got a bruise on my limb behind that, you know what I'm saying? But when he pulled me out, one of the agents held up his phone and said, you know this girl? I'm like, hell no, who is that? She was like 22 years old. Her name was Alexis Miller. He was like, well, she wanted for murder. She killed this Mexican guy in Houston, Texas. Allegedly. And we on a manhunt for her. And her name was tied to this address. I said, man, I've been living here 3 years. I don't know this girl. I don't know who she is, like, at all. He like, well, I said, and I told him, I said, man, y'all wasting y'all time. You know what I'm saying? Where the warrant at? Never showed it to me. Stay up there, just terrorizing my spot. Then after that, they did all of that just for them to come at me and say, basically, oh, my bad. Pick on paper, a tort paper. So anything that you spend out your pocket to get fixed, just fill this out, and then we'll see about you getting reimbursed.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
But damn that. What if I make a false move? What if one of y'all trigger happen?
Breonna Taylor.
What if it's somebody that's undercover prejudice?
Yeah. Breonna Taylor all day.
I'm telling y'all, I'm handicapped. I'm telling y'all, I got a prosthetic limb, the whole 9 yards. What if somebody had pulled their trigger? Once one person shoot, everybody gonna shoot.
Everybody shooting.
It's a dumb. So, that's not a compensation for me.
Nah.
And he saw the lasers on him.
Because I'm coming down. Because Big Jeff, I'm coming down the stairs. All I see is dot.
Yeah, y'all got me dotted up, man. You know what I'm saying? So, and then, we gotta always understand. The same thing that could have happened to this man actually happened to a 90-something-year-old lady.
Yeah.
Some odd years back. Exactly. Miss Jones.
Right.
And it happened to that girl, Breonna Taylor.
Then Breonna Taylor gets killed the same way. So it's no compensation for that.
Nah.
Because y'all could have killed me, man, on a whim. What you gonna tell? How can you tell my family you sorry?
Right.
You understand? What's that gonna resolve for my behalf of you killing me.
They can't bring him back, right?
You know what I'm saying?
So
you
the
know,
crazy thing, Big Jeff, is this. I've been contacting these lawyers, right? Man, these lawyers is scared to take the
they
case.
petrified.
They're like, oh, they got immunity. Well, I'm like, man, are you serious?
I feel your pain, brother. I just went through that for 3 years with Fulton County.
Facts, yeah.
No Fulton County attorneys, no attorneys in the state of Georgia, damn near, would not give me the time of day to do some filings. I just need y'all to file some paperwork. I don't need you to go. I can go in the courtroom and fight for my damn self. You know what I'm saying? But you know, this is where we are at now in society, to where everybody is playing the game that's on the same team. But look who's paying for it.
Yeah.
We, the taxpayers. You understand? You know, everybody that don't go clock in on the job don't mean they don't work or they don't have something going on for their livelihood. You know what I'm saying? So, but the immunity
Talk about it.
that they have
Talk about it.
is what allows them to feel like I'm above the damn law.
Exactly.
Yeah, facts.
You understand? Unless you turn into Steven Seagal
Right.
and say I'm a fight against my own system.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So right now, as far as I'm concerned, I myself and Shanita is the only one standing up for our community, not just our race, in trying to fight these people and make them understand, hey man, what y'all are doing is wrong. When are you gonna acknowledge it? When is somebody gonna take, as they tell us, when is somebody gonna take responsibility for something? You understand what I'm saying? Instead of passing the damn buck.
Yes.
Instead of trying to use another person to be a scapegoat for what you just did wrong.
Exactly.
When are we gonna get past that? When is somebody gonna take the full accountability for our system being, and I'm gonna say it just like I wanna say it, fucked up?
Jack, completely.
You know what I'm saying? But we'll run around here and say, oh, the YNs out here terrorizing the street. They should.
Shit.
They should. Because they're looking at their ancestors get terrorized.
Exactly.
They're looking at their mothers and fathers get terrorized. They're looking at their grandmothers and grandfathers get terrorized. They're looking at their family members get terrorized. It's just these YNs, as we call them, and I hate that shit, don't know any better, but yet and still you'll have a podcaster, you know, and I'm not going to say no name, but we know all the podcasters on the bullshit.
Facts.
You know, and they will feed into that and say, well, okay, the parents ain't doing a good job. The parents ain't doing what they... You got to bat your regular ass mind to even have that type of thought process. Your mind got to be real small for you to even think like that. Now we having a teenage crackdown. What the fuck? Now we finna have some kids get killed by the police. And their immunity is gonna allow them to say the shit that they have been saying for umpteen years.
Umpteen years.
He looked like he had something in his hand.
He had something, exactly.
He fit the description. The description of what? Tell me what fit the description really means, man, in our society today. This is the first alibi they have on us. Everybody want dreads. Everybody got twists. Everybody got braids. You know, so that means you fit the description. The description of what? Making yourself presentable? The description of what? Making yourself feel good about yourself because you want to look good? Make this shit make sense.
Right.
What is fit the description?
Because they didn't even, had they did investigation, they would have not, known that this person hadn't even been at this man's house.
But guess what though? But guess what though? Saying all that to say this. He been staying now 3 damn years.
Right.
Exactly.
There's no way before you make a raid on a person's house and the system is good at this dumb shit. There's no way you can make an attempt to raid somebody's house and then say, we got the wrong address.
Right.
If you feel like you got the wrong address after you done killed this man, guess what you could have done? Because see, if you arrest him and take him to trial, your prosecutors will come in there and say, well, okay, we've been watching him since 3 years ago. And this is what we got on him. He come and go at this time. He doing this at this time. He going to this place at that time. So you mean to tell me you can use that shit against me in trial, but you couldn't take the time out before you raid my damn house to see that I'm the person you actually looking for?
Right.
Or this is the right address?
Exactly.
Get the fuck out of here. Get the hell out of here. What's good for the geese got to be good for the gander.
Right. And Jiz made a great point earlier today. I was talking to him, and he said that the law should be that you shouldn't be able to do to me what I can't do to you. Right? If I can't come kick your door in and not go to jail, not get no charges, why is it okay for you to be able to do that to me?
But they'll stand in the courtroom and put my ass on the witness stand, and you have this dumbass DA or prosecutor, however y'all want to call they chump ass, have them stand in front of me and say, well, don't you understand the metaphor of do unto others as you would have them to do unto you? Well, what the fuck you doing it to me for?
Exactly.
You did it to me?
Exactly.
Let's make it make sense. Let's make it make sense, man.
And which brings us back to what I've been saying this from day one. Now, I don't care. Now, you know, a lot of these podcasters are starting to jump on the board. But the issue is, Nothing But The Truth been said it from day one, how corrupt Fulton County was. Now everybody want to act like, oh yeah, Trump was right.
We're going to correct that.
Okay,
all the systems are corrupt now.
Because
all of them are using the same technique.
All of them.
Because a lot of big wheels that sat behind the desk and held a powwow and said, this sounds like a good idea. Every time we run into 3 or more people, listen what I'm saying, 3 or more, not it's past 2 or more now.
Right.
3 or more people. We're going to consider that as a game.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
If they got attacked too,
Yeah.
we're going to consider that as a game.
Yeah.
If they got any kind of distinguishing marks, we're going to call that as a game.
Anything that
But
we
guess
can
what?
tie you to a game.
It's 7 of them in a courtroom prosecuting your ass.
No, and
why
it's-
they can't be a game?
Exactly. And there's several of them that met up at that White House
Thank you.
that now they don't recall shit. They
Yeah.
don't recall shit now.
They
They using the Woody
They
tactic.
the almighty Woody now.
They almighty
I don't
Woody
recall.
now. They don't
I
recall shit now.
I don't recall.
Right.
I don't recall
They don't recall.
Funny Willis paying me out of a fund that's called a procedure of seize and process.
I don't recall.
So that's the money that they take from people when they raid people's houses or arrest people for this, that, and the other. So they do a seizure. And they seize the possession.
Right.
So now you got now you got Nathan Wade saying he don't know where his money was coming from.
He can't recall nothing.
He don't know
about
where his money
nothing.
coming from.
He can't recall nothing.
Because
but see,
they have a seizure.
but it goes back to what I've been saying on this show.
that was
How-
Young Thug money.
That was Young Thug.
That was his money.
You been saying that. That was Thug
You
money.
paid him with this man money because y'all thought y'all was gonna take it.
Y'all thought you guys were gonna get away with it, and tried.
Thank you.
And tried.
Still trying.
Lied and tried.
It ain't over.
It ain't over.
They still filed an appeal,
See what I'm saying?
not to give shit back. Make
But-
it make sense.
But but that's the thing. What I've been saying though, how can Fonnie Willis and the Fulton County DAs be just corrupt when it comes to Trump? Either you all the way control. How you a little bit corrupt?
One word.
Exactly.
One word.
Race.
Nope.
What?
Wrong word.
What's that?
We speaking on it now. They feel like they untouchable because they are what?
The law.
Not the law. What the program is about today.
Immunity.
Immunity. They got the immunity. You can't prosecute them. You can't go at them. That's why I try to get everybody to understand this, man. It's a law. You can sue them, but you have to individualize it. Meaning, you got to sue the DA herself because she's bonded. She has an insurance. So if you sue her, understand what Trump doing. He's not suing Fulton County. He's suing the DA. Because judges, district attorneys, anybody that's in a lawful government, the immunity protect them from being sued as a organization,
as an
of
organization.
their job title.
Exactly,
But
but
not
not
as an
individual.
individual.
Got it.
There you go.
So you would have to look into what individual did what they
Whoever
did.
signed the paperwork,
Exactly. That's what we're trying to find out.
whoever signed, a judge signed it. You got to find out. Look at the paperwork. The judge's name should be on that warrant if they have a legitimate warrant.
We ain't even seen no one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now you got to find a police officer. Now you got to whatever criminal division raided your house. You got to go at the chief of that organization.
That's why he's
It got to be individualized.
getting the
Then
paperwork.
it can become group funded.
Gotcha.
You feel what I'm saying? Because now you can demand that you get the body cams. Now you want every officer that participated name and badge number. That's your right. You got the right to ask for that, and they have to give it to you.
Exactly.
A police cannot unidentify himself if he's asked to identify himself. So if an undercover police run up on you and say, police, freeze, this, that, and you don't see a badge, hey man, you better identify yourself. Or if he run up on you and don't identify himself and you say, are you a police officer?
Right.
He cannot deny it. If you suspect an undercover police to be in your possession or in your vicinity, if you walk up to him and say, excuse me, sir, are you a police officer? He cannot deny it. That's against the law for him to deny his title. He swear into that.
And then trying to get that information that is needed, like you said, try to find out who did this individually.
You got to go down.
It's a whole circus
You got to
of
go
doing
down
that.
to the county and get the police report. They had
The
to
county don't
make
got
a
it.
police report.
But the county don't got it.
Yeah.
Officers who came,
Because
whatever leading officer of that task force,
But
they
it was
had
a
to make
federal.
report.
It was a
The
federal.
U.S.
it was a-
Marshal.
Don't make no difference. You still have to make a report. All law enforcement have to make a report because they have to give a description as to why, or reason as to why they did something.
Right.
Because they're liable for that. That's where the GBI come in at. I don't care if you have to go to the GBI headquarters and say, hey man, I'm the person that went through this. I need to know what I need to do and who these people are.
Yes. Well, what we were told is he would need to do a FOIA request.
4-year record. Yeah, because the law is on misdemeanors, you have 2 years to report it. You have 2 years to deal with it. On felonies, it's 4 years. So after 4 years, it's under the rug. But you can still process it though. After 4 years, it don't go away. You just got to, now you got to really put in some leg work because everybody can play the game with you. But 2 years misdemeanor, 4 years felony.
Got it.
I don't care what level it is. That's what you got to do. So, but it is, them knowing that everybody don't know the laws like that, they can play with you because they know this about us. See, one thing about us as a black organization, as a black community, as black people, period. Every nationality know they are raised with this mindset that if you give a black man a difficult time in trying to do anything that's righteous, the first thing he's known to do is quit. We don't want to do the footwork. We ain't gonna go through all that. They know if they take us through 2 or 3 different channels, we gonna give up.
That's what
And
the,
just say,
that's
"Fuck
what
it."
they try too.
So they use it to their advantage because they know it.
That's definitely what they're trying to do.
They know it. They gonna drag you.
Yeah.
You understand? Hey man, I have went through so much with these people to where I went to the feds first, went all the way down to the state capitol. Haven't heard from nobody yet.
And it's
Understand?
been what, 3 years now, huh?
Thank you. Haven't heard from nobody yet, and they'll tell you this bullshit. Well, you'll hear from somebody in 48 hours, 72 hours. Because they want you to quit.
Give up.
I wouldn't quit. So now, everything is hitting the fan. The shit hitting the fan. They preying on you now. They preying on other people now. Because somewhere down the line, somebody got to come up with this money, man.
Right.
That's been mishandled and stolen.
Right. Amen.
So who better to get it from than the people who they feel like got a status? Who better? But look at what they doing. All the rappers, some of the black actors, now you. You understand what I'm saying? Hey man, listen. They know you're not going to fight but so long. And then you're going to surrender. You understand? You can't quit. You can't quit. I have had people tell me in the courtrooms, they hate you down here, Mr. Williams.
God. Yes.
Because I don't stop coming.
Yeah.
You understand? I'm not scared to walk in the courtroom and sit in there on the trial and give my opinion and get put out.
Yeah.
So what? You heard what I said. One thing a person can't do, man, I want everybody to understand this. We say forgive and forget. How in the hell can you forget something you heard?
And definitely nothing you experienced, like getting your whole door kicked down.
So how can you tell me, well, so how can a judge tell a jury pool, scratch that last remark? How? They heard it.
Already. Exactly.
It's already in their
Exactly.
So how they gonna forget that?
You're right.
person did is explain.
How they gonna forget a district attorney just stood right in our face and told a lie?
Right.
Trying to illegally convict people, and we hearing it. How you can tell us to go in the jury room and act like it never happened? How?
After we done heard it already.
I heard it and I saw it.
Yeah.
I saw the person that did it.
Right.
But they'll take your ass to trial and say we got witnesses that said they saw him do it.
Right. And how in his
Why is it
scenario.
good for the geese and not the gander?
Exactly.
If it's on film, they seen it, right?
Right. And
You
how
understand?
and-
So,
right.
Confederacy has to go.
Right.
We're fighting, and I tell Shanita this all the time. We're fighting for the wrong shit. We have a law called the Confederacy law. They told us a few years ago, everybody's against the Confederacy now. So they said, well, okay, we're going to pacify these dumb motherfuckers. Okay, we're going to get rid of this Confederate flag. Everybody happy. We're going to knock down them Confederate statues. Everybody satisfied. Everybody went away. Except for Big Jeff. I'm not satisfied with that. That shit don't mean nothing. Never have. What about the Confederacy laws y'all still got us living on?
Right.
If we gonna get rid of one, let's get rid of all of them.
Right.
Right.
But and I did some research on qualified immunity, and I saw what states are working on it. And New York has a law that they have introduced to hold the police officers accountable when there's something like the botch.
Raid. You
Yep.
supposed to.
Yeah.
You supposed to. They should, because at the same token, man, even though they are law enforcement officers, what are they first? They're human. They
Exactly.
people. Before they became a law enforcement officer, they was a regular civilian. Why in the hell should that change? Because they done went and ran 3 miles and got a badge and a gun.
Mm-hmm.
Why should that change?
Exactly.
Fact.
So we need something.
Why should that change?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If we don't start standing up for something, we're going to keep falling for
Falling
nothing.
for
That's a
exactly.
fact. Yeah, that's a fact.
You understand? We got to stand, man. And like I say, at the first sign of trouble, we bail out.
Right.
Now that shit has started affecting our children.
It is.
Our children are intimidated by anybody or anything that makes them feel like they're better than them. And that's our fault, because we don't make them understand the fact that you are the best at any goddamn thing you do.
That part.
We can stand up and tell our children, hey, you can do what you want to do if you put your mind to it, then why take that from them? Keep making them think that. Keep making them live that. Put it in front of them. Do what the metaphors say do. Y'all know I love metaphors. Lead by example.
Exactly.
I can't take you to the water and drown you. I got to show you how to drink. That's what we got to get better at.
And that's the thing. And then the thing is, what gets me with us people, we don't want to stand behind people when it happens to them. We want to wait till, oh, hey, that's him. It ain't affecting me. And that's wrong.
That's fear.
Exactly. But it's wrong though.
Thank you. That's fear.
If it happened to him, my brother, it's gonna happen to me. It could happen to my.
I think that's one of the biggest things that bothered me about the situation, man. Because I've been in the music game for 20 years. I done helped so many of these cats. I'm from Chicago, but I done helped so many of these cats, man, in this business, and I'm always looking out. And my little brother, Ugly Money Nietzsche, was the only one that right away was like, man, besides the news, that said, man, come get on a platform. You know what I'm saying? We need to talk about it. Like,
no, I did too.
Yeah, you did. But all these other cats, and I really want to name them because they really lame as hell.
This is our show.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
can call all the names you want, bro. We don't feel nothing on this show.
I done reached out to some of everybody, man, and they know who they is, man. But the thing about it that's sad is the fact that everybody, because my following kind of big on social media, so everybody that I reached out to, all they was doing was saying, "Oh, man, geez,
Sorry that happened to you, man."
If it's fucked up, bro, come stand with me.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm like, man, y'all sitting over here running up the timeline talking about who's scamming this artist. Man, look, that shit is. I'm talking about some real
That's
shit.
in the business.
Yeah.
Right.
That's in the business.
That's in the business.
That's, you know what
If
I'm
he
saying?
allow himself to be scammed, that's on him.
That's on him. And
That's in the
that's what's just been kind of bothering me and blowing me. You know what I'm saying, for the most part, man.
See, and then on top of that, man, I'm gonna piggyback that. It's always the 4-letter word, FEAR. They're in fear. Some of these guys, man, we gotta just, we gotta realize this. And I said this some shows back a while back. We gotta realize that these guys are so much in fear. And the only fear that they're in, and they haven't realized it yet, is that man in the mirror. They fear them damn selves. And I'm saying that to say this. They fear themselves because they feel like they're actually a part of something.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
There's no way the courthouse shouldn't have been running over with the YSL trial.
Fact.
Because that was going to be a domino effect to
Facts.
Everybody.
Big
In the
fact.
music
That
industry.
felt like they was
Using
involved
lyrics.
in a gang or part of a gang. Ain't no damn gangs in the state
Not
of Georgia.
even, not even just gang. The lyrics,
You know,
the artists and
but see,
using
they
their
used-
lyrics.
That was the excuse.
Yeah.
See, that was the probable cause they were trying to use.
Which is bullshit, 'cause that's entertainment.
Because
Right.
you got freedom of speech, first of all.
Yeah.
You can say what the hell you want to say. You understand? Now, upon you getting arrested is when that shit come effect. Because there are men that say anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law.
Right.
So if I'm not going through a court system, I can say what the fuck I want to say.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Who's it hurting? Artists, entertainers, whether they're movie stars, whether they're rappers, whether they're R&B artists,
That's their
whatever
art.
status they are in.
Right.
Hey man, they are not breaking a law to show us something that's mental on pictures. DAs are taught to paint a picture
Right.
to make you look bad, to
Right.
make you look like a criminal. to try to convince the jury that we got to convict this person. What make them better than us?
Exactly.
What make them, our mindsets can get out there too.
Well, we seeing now. We seeing
understand?
with this
So,
Trump case, they ain't
thank
no-
you.
They,
So
they
now-
normal just like us.
The domino effect is coming in,
Okay.
but it's coming from the other side now.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way they can correct it is we got to find the egg with the golden ticket in it. And the only way we're gonna do, we're gonna have to keep cracking eggs
Gotcha.
until somebody have that golden ticket, and now we can goddamn rejuvenate ourselves.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen in the state of Georgia. I can tell you that right now. It's not gonna happen in Atlanta. Because everybody that has a status is living in filth.
They in the polyclick.
You understand?
Yeah.
These people with the money now, they running. Look
Right.
at what we just said earlier. You got lawyers who won't even take a case now.
Mm-hmm.
You take it, yeah.
But you'll get 17 letters in the mail for having a damn wreck saying let me represent you.
I'm telling you.
I don't need you to represent me on a damn bump. I need you to represent me on a hump.
And then you'll have some to actually say, unless you were killed.
I was just finna say,
Thank you.
I had a lawyer tell me it, like yesterday.
Come
Yeah.
on, man.
He was like, man, Jig, you got an okay case, but man, I'm gonna just be honest with you. If you would have got shot or got killed, man, you would have had you would have won.
I wouldn't need you if I get killed. Thank you. My family gonna need you then.
I used to tell somebody that though.
That's crazy.
That
guess
happened.
what?
True story.
But now guess what they'll charge you with though?
What?
Aggravated battery, aggravated assault, assaulting.
No, let him
simple
go kick
battery,
down one of those
simple
officers'
assault.
door. He going
And
to
then they'll tell
jail.
you some shit like this. Okay, we charging you with simple battery because he say you put your hand on his shoulder.
Yeah, or spit at him.
Really? So you mean to tell me 17 motherfuckers running around in my house with guns with lasers on them?
Yeah.
Everybody lasers pointing at my chest. That's not an assault.
Yes. Not for real.
Make it make sense. Now let me have to have my tool and put a beam on your goddamn chest. Y'all would have killed me.
And the crazy thing is, I had my pistol. I had to tell them. I said, "Hey, there's guns in the house." They were
Thank
like,
you.
"All right, we ain't gonna touch nothing. We just need to see if this girl here." Come on, man.
But if you did what you supposed to do in the beginning, which they call an investigation,
Right.
you would have known she don't live.
You would
there.
have known that.
You know what I'm saying? You know, ain't no sense in investigating when you get him.
Right.
Ain't never understood that one.
Never.
You done locked the person up. You done took the person to jail, and then you still telling the family, well, we still him because we still investigating when the motherfucker going to jail.
Right.
Who you looking for?
Exactly.
What are you investigating?
What are you investigating?
All of these are because of immunity. They can
Qualified
tell
immunity.
you that.
Yeah.
They can get away with that because they knowingly know this.
Yeah.
And now it's so crazy for me because now I gotta move because they done exploited my whole house. It's all over the news.
And guess what? You can't even charge them with it. Ain't that some shit? You done made me homeless on a mistake.
On a mistake.
Exactly.
Right. Excuse me.
On a mistake now.
Right.
Everywhere I'm scheduled to go from this point on, if somebody recognize me and ask me the question, hey man, ain't you?
Ain't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. You live in such and
You
such
know.
county. Everybody know. Nobody.
Everywhere I go, man.
Yeah.
Everywhere I go for the last 9-10 years, people walk up to me and say, "You thug dad, ain't you?" Damn right. What's up? You understand? Yeah, I am. Yeah. What's that? I don't know half of these people,
Right.
but they know me.
Exactly.
I have had people say, "Hey man, I be looking at your show, Pop." No shit. Don't look at it. Come on it.
Come on.
Right.
It's an open show. Anybody can come on this show. I'm not particular about who come and tell their story. That's what we created this show for. For people to be able to tell their story so the world can hear real live stories that's actually
Tampered.
happening to people.
Right.
Because that's the shit that they be camouflaged from.
That's a fact.
They keep us hid.
Yep.
So when we try to tell people something, they in denial. Or they, tipping the scale.
They quiet.
You understand?
Cause I ain't heard not now black pastors stand up against Funny Willis and anything that's going on. In fact, everybody that the pastors and one of the groups that I'm in, they're all like, the stating that which again the group's supposed to be nonpartisan, but as I told one of the officials that's running for governor, I told her, I was like, she's running on the Republican ticket. Her name is Nelda. I can't remember her last name, but she's running to be she's trying to be the school superintendent of Georgia, but she's running on the Republican ticket. And I told her, I said, I know you're here, and you're expecting to talk and tell everybody who you are, but and I know this group was supposed to be nonpartisan, but they're not. I'm going to tell you this right now. They're not. They're totally Democratic. They're not nonpartisan, and they are totally anti-Trump. So
She said they drove this way.
they are. I mean, that's just the truth. And the only reason and growing up here down in the South, honestly, I've grown up all my life as Democratic. The only thing that changed my perspective on being that way versus looking at the bigger picture and seeing both parties and hearing what candidate represents my interest the best is the Young Thug trial.
Me too. I said that.
Sitting in there saying how corrupt us can be,
Right.
Thank you.
and they call themselves the Democrats and all this kind of stuff. No, I'm exactly bump Democrat, bump Republican. What is right? What's wrong? When they kicking in your door, it don't matter if you Republican or you Democratic.
They don't care.
Right. When you in your hospital bed, ain't nobody caring. I just need a dang on nurse. I ain't caring if she Republican or she Democratic. It's about humanity and what's right.
But see, our religious leaders, they don't come and support us because they're not us. They're not somebody who have went through something, who had to, go through trials and tribulations family-wide. You understand? And it's because they feel like, because I have marched with Martin Luther King, because I have did this with Malcolm X, because I have said this with so-and-so and so-and-so, they got the immunity too. Their immunity come from choosing sides. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
There's no way, man. There's no way. And I'm gonna go away from YSL. I'm gonna go to you directly. There's no way. Your God rest his soul, Jesse Jackson. You still got Al Sharpton. You still got what the minister name is running Ebenezer now. You understand?
Jamal.
I'm talking about
Jamal Bryant.
He's a politician.
He a minister too.
Yeah, and he'll minister. There's no way they shouldn't be blowing your phone up. They shouldn't be sending somebody to your
That's
house
a
and
fact.
bring you to their church and tell your story.
And I'm from Chicago.
Thank you. You understand? There's no way. Also, what the other black one name?
Warnock. John.
Warnock.
Warnock, yeah.
They should have been
Raphael
tearing your
Warnock.
doors down, man. If they preaching the gospel and believing the gospel that they preach.
Ain't he in the Senate?
Thank you.
Yes.
My point.
Yes, there are senators.
But see, they got the brown nose. We need some people who gonna be real in these public offices. We need people who gonna be real, fighting with us in politics. Right now, Atlanta has only one full-blooded, diehard politician that's fighting the complete political party in the state of Georgia. We don't have but one, and that's Antonio Lewis.
Wow.
And they want him out of there so bad as a shame. They want him out of there because he has the nuts to buck.
Right.
on a corrupt system.
Nothing right.
You understand what I'm saying? So as long as they can outnumber us, they gonna feel like they can win.
They do.
But I seen a movie called 300, where the brother went to war against 3,000 motherfuckers and knocked their ass out the box with 300. Because they did what we supposed to be doing right now. He came up with a plan. He put his strategy within the plan, and then they executed. And they won.
They won. See.
Metaphors. Jesse Jackson say, one voice can make a difference. Shit, if one voice can make a difference, 1,000 should be able to take over the world.
Right.
If we believe it and stand on it. I feel like he believed it, but he didn't stand on it. And I respect him with the highest level. But they picked and chose their poisons.
And that's how it is today.
You understand? You can't pick and choose your poison when you
These
stand
folks
up for what's
pick and
right.
choose. Pick and choose
If it's right, it's right.
who they want to stand up for, who they think they can get the most publicity,
Thank you.
the most status off of. They want to be the next Ben Crump around here.
I like
Ego.
Ela.
Yeah,
Okay.
ego, exactly.
Ela. Okay.
Who?
Ela.
Who's Ela?
That's my name.
Oh, okay.
Ela. Okay. We got Ela on the show today.
We got Ela wanna
So you
share
wanna-
her
you wanna
opinion
share
on some
something, Ela?
things.
Ela standing here with her almighty suit on, and she dressed to kill, and look like she finna go out and party for the weekend.
Oh.
She had a good week. Ela had a good week, y'all. You know what I'm saying? So she here to represent.
All right.
You know, and this is what we want. These are the people that we want. You know, we had a guy doing the YSL trial, right? And I'm gonna relate this to you, Jed. His immunity was so strong with the DA office with Fonda Willis, to where he got away with sexually assaulting two young women. This motherfucker name was Rashard Hamilton.
Gotta say allegedly for legal purposes.
You understand? And he actually got away with, well, he think he's gotten away with it. We're gonna say it like that. Cause the bricks gonna fall on his head in a minute. So, you know, but him knowing that he had that immunity like that,
Right.
he was able to
Pick the witnesses up.
pick the witnesses up and assault them on his own turf. One of the young ladies he assaulted, he took her to his house.
Personal house.
She can ID his house. She went and tried to report it.
Fulton County did nothing.
Fulton County pushed her out the door.
Yeah,
Damn.
they did.
She actually went to the extreme to take it to Cobb County. Filed a complaint in Cobb County after she found out this way he stayed at. Cobb County did this so-called investigation and told her that they think she consented. But now you take R. Kelly, P. Diddy, Bill Cosby, and just because a woman spoke it, you went and picked them up and locked their ass up and made them prove themselves.
Right.
Make it make sense. But here's a woman telling you that a man forcibly took me. And not only that, he recorded it.
What?
Damn.
But because he worked for the DA's office,
You got an investigator that actually had the galls to tell a woman who said that a man, she said no, and he did it anyway. You think that she complied with it? Really? And she telling you she didn't? But you got 40 women can come out the woodwork and say Bill Cosby date raped me 40 years ago.
Tell it.
Make this shit make sense. Here's a woman telling you that this man is a public official, a law enforcement officer, and he raped me. And you have the gauze to tell her you think she consented to that shit? This woman can describe everything about this man. But here it is a year later, for some odd reason, he get fired from Fulton County. I wonder why. Because they got to hide it.
And then Fulton County didn't even take up those charges.
Thank you.
County
Cobb
did.
County took up the charges.
Right.
So guess what happened? Cobb County notified Fulton County. Fulton County said, okay, that's it, buddy. Your ass got to go. Because now you finna put us in harm's way if this shit go to another level.
But they stayed hush-hush about it, and we haven't heard nothing from it.
You understand? So, immunity. They can hide behind it. And they can hide behind it because we don't fight.
We don't fight to change the laws to the immunity.
We don't fight.
Right.
We got to make a stand. Everybody in this room has had some kind of bad experience with law enforcement.
Not that bad, though.
And
like
it's been
Jed,
swept
though.
under the rug.
But that's true. Actually, yeah. I did before.
It's been swept under the rug because we don't fight. We, like I
But
say,
like
at the
you
first
said, you
sign
have
of
to
taking
keep
us
on
through
doing
different channels,
Yeah. You gotta,
we quit.
Gotta be persistent. Yep.
And they know this. They have people listening to this show, man, every week.
Okay, I got a question. What if you be persistent and then they still don't?
If you got to keep being persistent, because sooner or later, like I say, Jesse say, one voice can make that difference. Sooner or later, somebody gonna listen. Somebody gonna say these
One
words
day.
right here, like they say to us. She can't be lying if she keep coming back with it. If she stand on top of it, she's pushing buttons. Sooner or later, you gonna push that right button, and all hell gonna break loose.
That's what I told her.
I done had like celeb friends of mine that done came to me and said, well, man, just thank God they ain't kill you, just leave it alone. I'm like, you telling me to leave this alone? Like, I can't.
Thank you.
I can't.
You don't
leave it
supposed
alone.
to.
I can't.
You don't supposed to. You don't supposed to, man, because it's a lot could have happened.
And you the one got to
You
wake up with
understand?
that trauma.
It's a lot could have happened, man.
You know? Now every time
You
you
know-
in your house sleeping, you hear something, you gotta.
Thank you.
That's gonna
You-
come to
you-
your
you
your
shell
mind.
shocked now.
Right.
And I'm from, like I said, I'm from Chicago. I
Thank
ain't scared of nothing, but the principle of it was,
Knowing that this can happen to you,
and,
man.
and it's me by myself when I'm looking, it's 50 of them.
Thank you.
I'm like, man, they can do whatever they want to do to me right now.
Hey, man, Miss Johnson got shot over 100 times,
Jesus.
and she was 90-something years old, bro.
Somebody, the old lady.
And then they say it was the wrong house.
Right.
Oh,
Are
hell.
you fucking serious?
She died.
They say the guy that they thought they were looking for
Right.
went through her backyard. If you go to Miss Johnson's house, as soon as you pull up in front of her house, you'll know that's a bunch of shit. Cause in her backyard, it's a fence.
Wow.
And if you go over that fence, you in the next person's yard. Their houses their yards are that close.
That close.
Then he'd had to go up a hill.
See, I
You understand?
I haven't seen her house. I believe you.
Her hallway is like that hallway out there
Right.
when you come through her front door.
That's crazy.
Y'all shot her at long distance and then
Jeez.
say she shot at y'all first.
No.
Even if she shot at you first, man, she deserved to take 100 rounds.
And she, right.
Everybody shot her. To me,
That's what he was saying. All those lasers that was
Thank
on
you.
him like that.
it could have happened to you, man.
Easily, yeah, definitely. Definitely could happen to me, for
It
sure.
could have happened to you.
And that's very traumatic. Even
know-
even hours later,
I'm mentally destroyed.
even hours later when this happened to him, I talked to him and I could hear in his voice that something was wrong. Like, what? You know, he's like, you ain't gonna
man,
believe.
That's a hell of
Like,
you
he
know,
couldn't even go to sleep.
you got to, we got to have the mindset to think like this. That had to be a hell of an experience, man.
Yes.
Well,
And then you looking at this.
Yes.
This some shit you see in the movie, bro.
yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And now it's so messed up for me now, cause like every little creak or noise I hear,
You jumping.
I'm like, nah, I don't like
You
this.
jumping, man.
And then I don't feel
You know,
comfortable now because
shit.
I'm coming in and out my house late at night.
Thank
and I'm
you.
like, man, who that? These niggas might know why I'm mad. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? My shit
And then,
exploded.
on top of that, you're not able to get away because you have a prosthetic
Mm-hmm.
issue.
Mm-hmm. Which is even
You
more
can't
scary.
even run.
Even more
if you,
scary.
If you wanted to.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
You got to just stand there and take this punishment?
Right.
No, man, that's mind-boggling. You know what I'm saying? You got to put up a fight, man.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it come down to what you want us to do? File them motherfuckers came to my house. Cause then I feel like my threat is not on the street no more to harm me.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? Something needs to happen. You know, because now, mindset. What if they start investigating these clowns and say, okay, we're going to lay everybody off and you're going to be laid off without pay, and, you know, the ones who participated, you know, we might wind up having to terminate you, or we might wind up having to, you know, take some type of, you know, actions against you, this, that, and the third. And then he go home and he sit down and he snort his powder, or drink his liquor, or whatever he do to get himself relaxed. And he sit there and have a white man's dream. This man finna take my livelihood from me.
Yeah.
I'm not going out like that.
Right. And who's to say if he
I'm
moved, they
going
can't
to
come
see
to
it.
his house again?
Thank you. I'm going to see him.
What's stopping them from doing it again?
You
Saying it's a
understand what I'm
mistake
saying?
again?
His mindset.
Yeah.
You don't know what these folks thinking.
Exactly.
Not at all.
And that's another thing. Somebody also told him, well, you got to be careful when fighting these people. This is you trying to say something against law enforcement.
Let me tell
So
you.
what he supposed to do?
Let me tell y'all what mindset I had when they were trying to tell me that. I had lawyers telling me, well, you know your son out and that. Fuck that. My son is out, but I got 2 more sons in there behind. Got 2 grandsons in there behind. So the fight is not over with for me, because I have other family members that was wrongfully prosecuted because of their brother, their uncle.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? So that's not satisfactory to me.
Right.
He was gonna come home anyway, cause he wasn't never charged with shit. But what about the people who didn't fight like that and come home?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? These are the people who we gotta protect, which is you. You understand? Which is her, which is her, which is me. We gotta start protecting each other, man, at all costs, because, like, look at what we seeing in the news now, every week. Atlanta police officers, federal agents, GBI agents have started scouting the streets now because they're doing a teen crackdown.
Let me tell you, it was so many at Six.
On some
I rode past
man.
Six Flags. Listen, I rode past Six Flags the other day last weekend when they supposed to have that first teen takeover. When I tell you, it was thousands of Cobb County police out there with Army tanker trucks.
Thank you.
Like what?
Hey, man, what if one of these kids don't have nothing on them but their telephone, and these folks decide, okay, this curfew, and the kid take off running,
Like
and
they
he mess
did.
around and make any kind of false move, and they just shoot the kid right now.
Yeah.
Ask
Yep.
questions later.
That's how they did Vincent Truitt.
Come on, man.
2 shots to the back. How you justify that?
Thank you.
Just
Come on.
shot him in the back while he was trying to run.
Come on now. And then say, well, he looked like he had. What the fuck you mean? You are a police officer.
Yeah.
Your training You are trained to look and identify.
Exactly. Exactly. But see, and that's the thing that they
Don't work
always
like that,
say.
bro. There's no way you can tell me you thought you were grabbing your damn taser and your taser sits on the opposite side of where you carry your gun at.
Exactly.
Ain't no way. You weren't that confused. Now, if you were that confused,
You need
they should
additional
have been
training.
sending you to take a drug test
Yeah,
right then.
Exactly.
Like they'll do me on a job.
I'm telling you.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You said you grabbed your taser because you thought that was your taser you were grabbing and not your gun. How you get that mix? This is some shit you wear every day. You know where everything got on that belt.
You put it on there.
This is part of your training.
Yeah.
You know where everything got on your belt. So I would hate to see you reach to your back and think you grabbing your cuffs and grab your goddamn 9 and shoot your damn self then. Or shoot whoever you trying to arrest. And you gonna say, well, oh, I thought my gun was my cuffs. Huh? Really? Why you didn't grab your clip then? They sitting next to your cuffs. You know what I'm saying? So you make it make sense. Immunity. They know they can use it.
That's true.
They know they are protected with their immunity. We got to get rid of that shit, man. There's no immunity. You wrong, you wrong. That's what y'all tell us.
Right.
A judge will tell me, next time I see you in my courtroom, son, it's adios for you.
It's crazy.
He done killed 3 people. Why they not adios for him? He gonna be able to keep using the same excuse after he done killed the 3rd person.
Right.
I thought it looked like he had something. I would have hated to see him taking a piss.
Right.
You'd have kept him with his Johnson in his hand. Because you could say, I thought he had something. He did
Exactly.
have something. He had his Johnson in there. He was taking a leak.
Right.
So look, look, I wanted to share this also with you, because the same scenario that happened to Jig also happened to this man named Afro Man, right?
Okay, yeah, I seen him.
So
Yeah. The rapper Afro Man. Yeah.
he made his situation, which was a very serious situation concerning his botched rape.
Yeah.
What he did was something smart. He turned his pain into profit.
Into
Okay.
profit.
He took his surveillance cameras and he took the video from the botched raid. Even at one point during the raid, one of the officers shot a bird into his surveillance.
And I hope he got it on camera.
He
on his
did.
ass, too.
So he made. We're gonna play a little bit of his story and tell a little bit about what happened with him. So, long story short, after they did the botch raid, he made a video, and he talked about one of the officers. He called him a fat fart, a fat something, because he stopped in the kitchen and looked at the pound cake. And now the officer, all of the officers that did his botch raid came together and they're suing him in a lawsuit to say he's defaming their character because in his song, which we just agreed, the songs are lyrical expressions. And in his song, he does talk about them, talk how stupid and dumb they are, talk about how he done slept with one of their wives and how she done ate
Pound cake.
how she ate pound cake. So he made it very comical. So we're gonna play a little bit of his clip real quick. Hold on a second. Let you guys see a little bit of that.
And that's why you can't let them get off the hook.
On the door.
That's why you gotta fight back
Okay.
Your
sometimes.
ass on the hook, they gonna hang you.
Yeah.
Would.
Yeah.
You know, and they gonna.
Oh
do
yeah,
everything
yeah,
on your
yeah.
show
They don't
too.
know.
So
who
shout
broke
out to
down the door.
OG Afro Man.
Okay.
All right, Afro Man.
So
Brian
this is talking
Newland.
about some of his,
He won. He
You
won
know what I'm
because-
saying?
he won.
He's supposed to.
Pedophile police
He's
officer,
supposed to win.
baby making Brian newborn Newland is kicking in the door, or he's hitting it with a battering ram. Run the stop sign, Randy.
I'm gonna say this while the
Getting a wreck, Walters
video playing.
is standing behind him, looking like Beetle Baby.
Now, homeboy,
with like
that
some
let you
kind
know
of
that
shield.
the
Over
cams in
here
the house can do
is-
something about your ass too.
Is
Yeah.
Osama
we
been
want the-
stealing
we
my
want the house
clothes,
cams.
a.k.a. Randy Russell.
Look, so they tried to
He's
stop
the
it.
other guy who destroys in the door. So they're acting like they don't know who did it, but it's Brian Newland and David Russell. Yeah. They don't.
Same thing make you laugh, make you cry, baby.
Same thing make you laugh, so we're gonna play a little bit of his song.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, hey man, it go both ways.
Good facts.
So
It's just how you present it. Paint that picture.
Right.
See, film don't lie.
So I wonder. So listen, Big Jeff. I wonder, like, what can I do as far as like, cause like I said, I'm having a hard time getting some representation. So I'm trying to like see what would be the next step for me to.
What I would do, and you know, I'm saying this, I'm giving you the advice that they'll tell you they can't give you. What I would do, I would scout the United States if I have to, and try to find me a lawyer with some nuts. That's what I'd do. I'm talking about even if I had to go back home and get an attorney. You're going to have to get an attorney that's not from him.
Somebody else told me the
That's
same
willing
thing.
to fight.
Yeah.
That's got the bulldog. Cause see, let me tell you something. And I just said this last week, I think, to Shanita. This when you so enough see who's about what. Who's about what as far as law. Who's about what as far as righteous. You know who should be sitting here talking to you right now, or should have done been to your house, or sent you a letter, or got your number and called you right now? If he's really standing on principle, Ben Crump.
I reached out to him too.
They ain't
responding.
My point. But now somebody lose a loved one, you the first motherfucker at the altar, speaking on the mic. You understand? That goes back to what you say whoever told you. If they had killed you, then you could have got some service. I don't need no goddamn service when I'm dead.
Exactly.
You understand? I want to fight now. You know, don't say, like we say, metaphors, my favorite. We're going to give you your flowers while you're here. But damn it, give them to me.
Right.
I can't smell them when I'm dead. Give them to me now while I'm here. That's when I need them. I want to smell them. So, picking and choosing.
And finding alternatives
Picking and choosing.
to get what you
man.
want. Find it, right. Get somebody.
But they have to be able to practice in Georgia, though, right?
No.
Because they're federal agents. Federal.
Who are amended to go to different places. And then if not, they got lawyers who they can call who is amended for that. Who can go to different places. You know what I'm saying? Like your Drew Finley, your Brian Steele, your Keith Adams. See, they can go to different cities, different states.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Their bar license in different states.
They know people they can recommend.
And it may be different because your situation is concerning federal agents, which may not limit you to retaining an attorney solely that's from Georgia. Because
if he's federally bonded, he can do it. See, a lot of lawyers are federally bonded. They can go like I say, the Brian Steeles, the Drew Penners, they can go to the
all over the nation,
case.
Like Ben Crump as
what
well.
Yeah, Ben Crump. That's why I say, what principles you standing on, bro? Because, see, we reached out to Ben Crump. I reached out to Ben Crump. The man wouldn't even give me 2 minutes of a conversation, and I was standing right beside him.
Damn.
You understand? SCLC turned their back. NAACP turned their backs.
True. We only had one person from SCLC that tried to help, Mr. Nathan.
And get what they did to him?
Nathan Knight.
They barred him from coming in Fulton County Courthouse because he was helping me.
Damn, for real?
They did.
Told him he couldn't even come in the courthouse, man.
I'm going to tell you, we had met with him.
He was a DeKalb County representative.
We had banners made. We met with... Nobody knows the real
Me
411.
thinking, me and Shanita is the reason they put the blockades around the courthouse because they thought we was finna come down there and have a protest.
Yep.
So everybody who came down there to try to have a protest, you know where they made them protests at? Across the street at the old courthouse.
That sure did.
Wow.
Yeah. They did some real foul stuff. Y'all like.
Fulton County is the pits. But now guess what? Everybody finna pay for it though.
Oh yeah.
And guess why? Because I ain't stopping.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to keep putting it in the air.
That's why you need to do that documentary.
Sooner or later, somebody going to listen.
That's why you need to do that documentary.
Thank you. Sooner or later, somebody going to listen.
Get it out there.
Somebody going to hear you sooner or later, man. Just got to keep going.
Keep going. Keep pushing it.
One of my other activists, which is also one of my A&R, she don't even live here.
Yep.
We wrote a letter to the President of the United States, Joe Biden. The letter got intercepted.
Of course. Now you see why.
The letter got intercepted.
And now you see why.
How did you find out it got intercepted?
I ain't getting no answer.
Now you see why.
No answer. You understand what I'm saying? Now we see why.
We see why.
But guess what? Before this even went this far, I already had said it.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're a sisterhood.
They all
Kamala
together.
Harris,
They're in the
Fonda
politics.
Willis is in a sisterhood. They're in a frat.
Mm-hmm. And also, too.
We read the letter
Mm-hmm.
3 weeks ago on the show, live.
Mm-hmm.
My activist / A&R called me and said she had 75 hits to come to her phone asking her to allow them to be, I guess, her friend or whatever, and join her in her email. To where they got so funky with it, they waited till 3 o'clock in the morning and called her and asked for a request to go in her email. Guess what we found out?
What?
We found out from a source that the reason they did that is because the government got some type of shit they can do. Well, if they reach out to you on your email, if you don't answer within 5 minutes, they can automatically activate it.
What?
So that explains why the district attorney office had all these emails from these boys in trial. Makes sense. Some shit you ain't got to figure out. God will bring it to you, brother. You understand what I'm saying? Because I know everybody was trying to figure out how in the hell they got all these boys email addresses and, can go in they shit and doing this and doing that. You ain't that tough in the state. Now I know why. Because you got government assistant. You can do it.
Yeah.
How in the hell could somebody access all of a man's
Personal email.
jail phone calls and video calls from jail and be able to get to a podcaster to have and then say it's public record?
Right.
If that's the case, ain't nobody safe. How can you tell me that a man calling home from jail on a jailhouse phone is public record? When jails are operated on a communication level by a private communication source. When somebody go to jail, you have to call. When somebody go to jail, you have to call and get the access. So how in the hell is it public record? Hello?
Impossible.
Okay. You understand? How can that be public record when that's a private company that has a contract with you to monitor those calls? How is that public record?
That's crazy. It's not. And that's the thing.
You understand? So, it's a lot of them found that man from being there and being supportive. and I'm still finding out things. That's why I speak on it.
Period.
Because like I say, the motto of this channel that we're on with this podcast is to give everybody the truth about the things that they keep us hid on by throwing a distraction out there. And once you feed into that, they ain't worrying about you no more. Big Jeff don't move like that. I'm gonna wake you up to what they using for a distraction to hold the truth from you.
Right.
That's why. I understand. And I ain't mad. But I'm not gonna start fighting. You're not gonna make me quit.
Right. And unfortunately, that's sad that you have to invest your time like that to dedicate to the cause. But this may have happened. So now you got a cause to help fight to change those laws on qualified immunity in the state of Georgia.
And I will
And then
be
you got
wrong.
a new cause.
And we'll be wrong to sit here and tell you that the name of this show is nothing but the truth, and we don't give you the truth. And stand on it.
But just know that we stand with you. You ain't by yourself.
I stand on it. I stand on the truth for it. And I ain't mad. And that's neither knowing anybody who talk to me know. And whether I'm on the phone or not. My end game is this. And I don't give a damn who listening. Because I know you listening. I know they listening.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? I don't care.
Right.
I want you to hear what I'm saying. If I can tell you what I got to say at the courthouse, why should I have it right here in my house? Make it make sense.
So guys,
Wow.
got something to think about now, Big J.
Definitely, man. I'm definitely, you know, regardless of what people have been telling me, like I ain't no way I could just lay down like that, man, and roll over. I can't do that.
Once you get a passion for something, and now you have a passion for justice for yourself, it's hard to just stop. That's why you see these parents, like what happened with Kendra Johnson, rolled up in the mat. It's 10 years later now. How can you now say, oh, you know what? Well, that happened so long ago. No, that family is still fighting for justice for Kendra Johnson, and it's gonna come.
Yeah, right.
It's gonna come. You never quit fighting, and now you got a new fight, because you were done unjustly.
I'm gonna give you a number to call, and this man, him making a point you in the right direction.
Actually, been 13 years, Kendra Johnson, not 10.
Yeah, 13 years.
13.
So we fight for a lot of people. That's Shanita's part of this show. It's her activism. And I'm going to support it to the fullest. You know what I'm saying? Because let me tell you something, man. And I love saying this to people. I love saying this on this show. I started out in this fight in YSL with at least 10 people. Out of 10 people, I winded up with one true soldier. And that was Shanita. Let me tell you something, man. They tried to put the real boo game on her to not continue to deal with me.
Yeah.
She went to jail behind shit.
Sure did.
She got bald. They tried to make her say, the hell with Big Jeff. Whole 9 yards. She stayed down. Not 10 toes, 20 toes down.
I knew it was some BS.
You understand what I'm saying? Everybody else, when they throw any kind of salt toward them, they did just what a snail do.
She's scared. Retreat.
You understand what I'm saying?
But then they want to come back out at the end.
At the end, when they seeing that what I have said since day one, it's actually what's happening.
Right.
Too late.
Too late. Right.
Cause see, if you'll leave me then, you'll leave me again.
That part.
Right.
You know, and My pet peeve is this. We say, if you ain't with me, you're against me. No, that's not true. That's not a proper metaphor to me.
Right.
If you're not for me, you're against me. Because see,
Preach.
it's a difference.
Right.
With and for means two totally different things.
I agree.
If you with me, I want you to be so far away from me, man, I can't see you. But if you for me, I want you to be like a Siamese twin in me.
Oh, God.
You understand? Because see, when people are with you, it's just what it say. They with you. And they with you as long as everything is everything. But as soon as something start taking a turn for a difference, the motherfucker bail out.
I'm telling you.
And you can't be mad because they are with you. But now, when they for you, you're going to get what you're getting now. Some people who are willing to, hey man, it's 25 of them and 3 of us, we're going to make a triangle.
Let's go.
And everybody going to pick a side.
Okay.
We're going to fight to the end, bro. That's when they for you.
Right.
When things start going in another direction and it look like all finna fail, we gonna sit down and say, hey man, we gotta come up with another way of getting it
Another plan.
to make it work out.
Exactly.
Those are the people for you. Long story short, the people who don't give up on you and leave you in the battlefield, those are the people that's for you. Those are the people you want to keep right there with you. Everybody else, please get the hell on. I'm asking you to get the hell on. I'm asking you to leave me alone. Because you done showed me that you are for me. That's why when you leave, when you bail out on me in the time of trouble, why when everything get back going right, why should I allow you to come back? Why? You know,
Because best to believe, you win this case, they're going to be...
don't have a lot of friends. Man, I got so many kin folks I don't know. All because my children became successful at something else. That's my home. That's my cousin. Hold on, man. Wait a minute. When I was fucked up, when I was running around here and didn't have a dime, couldn't buy gas for the car. I ain't see you. And then if I did see you, if I say give me something, you gave me all the sad excuses in the world.
Yeah, could be. When you, right.
But you still didn't give it to me. Now you want to give me everything. For what? I don't need it now. Those flowers. Those flowers. Don't give me more flowers when I don't need them. Give them to me so I can smell them.
Right.
I need them now. That's what we got. We got to start back being real in society, man, with each other. I can't fake. I don't know how to fake. I ain't never practiced it. I would rather for you to say, well, Big Jeff got attitude, man. Big Jeff don't like nobody. Hey, at least I know you getting the picture. You seeing I'm real. I'm not going to invite the fake in my life.
Makes sense.
But it's
You
true.
understand? So that's how I protect myself. I would rather for you to think I'm the meanest motherfucking rattlesnake in the world until you get to know me.
Right.
Then you'll understand.
Yes.
Real recognize real.
Yes.
If you faking, I'm gonna see it right now.
Exactly.
Cause I'm gonna throw you in the fire. I don't believe in friendship. I believe in loyalty.
That part.
Friends eat shit, run rabbit. Loyalty is forever, man. I raised my kids, my nieces, nephews, anybody in my circle. That's what I preach to them. Loyalty.
That makes sense for sure.
So loyalty never changes. It can't. It's too real.
And unfortunately, you have to wait till something like this happen or something
To see who with you.
yeah.
You know? So I don't get mad.
I bet you would have
I
never
respect
thought
it.
some of the people that you thought
Thank you.
would have
or say what they
welcome
say,
you
act like
to
they
tell-
act, do what they
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey man, did the same? Is you the same brother? I just helped pay your rent. I just helped you get your car. I just helped you do this and that. You that same brother telling me this? Don't even worry about it. All decks.
Yeah.
Funny, man.
They say it'll break your heart, but fix your vision.
You understand what I'm saying? Hey man, all debts are settled. Cause see now I know how to handle you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cause one thing you can better believe, the Almighty Christine always have told her sons. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times, I'm just a goddamn fool. Okay. Okay. Ain't no fool me once, shame on you. No, nigga, if you fool me, period, it's on me. Cause I accepted it. I allowed you to do it.
Yeah.
So if I keep allowing you to make me a damn fool, I'm just a damn fool.
Exactly.
Right.
Cause I got the right to stop it at any time. And then have to go with it the first time.
Exactly.
But you can't live a prosperous and complete and truthful life within yourself if you don't try to experience something at least one time.
Yeah, I agree.
I'll try anything once. Out of that, bro, it's on me. It's on me. Only thing I ain't gonna try one time is losing my manhood. I'm not gonna never try that one.
No time.
Okay. So, other than that, bro, hey man, it is what it is. And I'm willing to accept it because I know who I am.
Amen.
I know who I am. We got people 60, 70, 80 years old, man, still don't know who the hell they are right now.
It's true.
We got some people 19 know who the hell they are.
That's so very true.
You know, so it's according to when you're gonna find yourself. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we have to go through things to find ourselves.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know, everything that happens to us in life, man, and everybody know I say this all the time. Shanita will say some things to me sometime now, I say, it's gonna be all right. And I know she be saying, this motherfucker always talking about something gonna be all right. Shit going haywire right now.
tell him
You know what I'm saying? But
Because he gives good advice.
I have made myself, I have taught myself to understand that my pet peeve, shit happens, man.
Yeah. Facts.
We just got to keep moving. We got to accept it, embrace it, and keep moving.
Keep moving.
Because everything you go through in life, bro, that's part of your heavenly written story. Anything that happened to you in life, man, that's what God has wrote in your story. You're supposed to go through it. Because if it wasn't in your story, it wouldn't happen.
What happened?
That's why I don't believe in karma.
I believe in karma. Why you don't believe
Because
in karma?
you can't tell me that what my child go through, or if one of my children go through something, that's because of my karma. That's my karma. No, fuck it ain't. That's what's in my child's story.
Oh.
Your children cannot be punished for what you did.
do.
If that's the
Yeah.
case, you might as well be like the system.
Yeah.
The system punishes you for what you have done. You understand? That's what they use to convict you.
You're right.
So how can that be my karma? No, that's my story.
Exactly.
Hey man, you lost a limb. If you had bad karma, good karma, neutral karma, whatever karma, your ass should have died. If you were being punished by your karma, you shouldn't have survived it. So that means And then you'll sit here, all of us will sit here and say, but God gave me another chance. So where the fuck the karma came from?
Exactly.
Make it make sense.
No, I mean.
If God gave me another chance, what is the karma? You understand? You still can walk around.
But
You still can get your
I
little
think you
trot.
can repent, you know, and
What you say?
repent.
Repent for your wrongdoings, for your sins. Everything that you feel like you doing wrong ain't necessarily wrong now. Some shit is survival. If you doing something that the system of people require or people take to be illegal, if it's not hurting nobody or killing nobody or destroying nobody, what's wrong about it? It's just the way we schedule to do it.
I get that.
Right. Yep. I receive that.
You understand what I'm saying? Wrong comes from the decision you make to do something. If somebody killed your child and you went and killed them, ain't no such thing as two wrongs don't make a right. That shit right.
That's what they gonna say.
I made that shit right. I for, hey man, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King. You understand what I'm saying? It's the way you perceive it and the way you do it.
And that's the thing. Your right might not be my right. Everybody
Damn
got
right.
different.
So
what
where's
make
the
your
karma?
right the best answer, the right one
Thank
over
you.
my
So
right?
how can I say my son went out there, one of my children went out there and broke their leg? That's karma on me. God getting me for that. How? It happened to them, not me.
I get what you're saying.
If I'm gonna believe in karma, it's supposed to happen to me.
But what if they say that's their own karma? Like, say for instance,
Because we say that because we have been mentally challenged
programmed
to believe
we've
that.
been taught.
Thank
You're
you.
right. We've been taught to
Thank
believe things like that.
Thank
That may not necessarily be the
Thank
truth. That is true. Like the same thing I was saying. The way I grew up Democratic.
There you go.
But
So,
hey, when they say what the Bible say though, when you was a child, you acted like a
Yeah,
child.
like
But now
a
when you grow up, you put
gotta
old
act
things
like
away.
Gotta act like an adult.
Right.
Because guess what, baby? Guess what? Karma went out of me when I was 14 years old. And that's when I saw a baby get crushed in a car. How can I say that happened to that baby? Because his daddy was a fucked up man in the street. How? And then I'll stand up in the church and say to you, you got my deepest sympathy, but God don't make mistakes. I'm supposed to stand up there and say, hey, bro, Jed, that's your karma, boy. You understand what I'm saying? If I'm gonna keep it real with you, if I feel like that's what it is, damn your sympathy. Damn you crying, nigga, that's your karma, nigga. You understand what I'm saying?
That makes sense. How you're explaining that makes sense. But prior to you explaining it that way, I would have said, yeah, I believe in karma. But now, when you explain it how you're saying,
How
I
does
never
somebody
looked at
else
it
pay
like
for
that.
your
yeah,
sin?
yeah,
God, you know, me mentally on a biblical note. Jesus was perfect, man. He chose 12 people to follow him. 4 out of those 12 people helped crucify him because they didn't believe that he was actually working the miracles that he worked. Whose karma is that? God created our ass. So who karma did he pay for? They crucified him, nailed him to a cross.
Yep.
They buried him, they say. I still ain't got that part of it, of the move of it yet. Because I'm still trying to figure out how was he nailed to a cross, stood up in a field, but they say they buried him in a tomb and he rose on the Sabbath day. Who buried him? We seen him nailed to a cross. They made him tote his cross to where they were gonna stake his ass in the ground at.
Yep.
What was the reason for that? Because people didn't believe, man,
That he was who he
that
said
he was performing miracles.
Right.
What do that have to do with a karma? He was perfect. He paid for being perfect. Make it make sense. Who can you blame that was a bad person for Jesus getting crucified? God is our Father. God was Jesus' father. Mary was a virgin. She was married to Joseph. He wasn't pissed off because she got pregnant by another man. Because he didn't understand what was going on. So where's the bad person at for him to be done took their punishment?
Right. Because he was on a mission from the Father to die for our sins.
Day one. You understand? They say he died for our sins. Jesus was already gone when we were born. What sins did we come in the world on? We came in the world perfect, man. You have to live a sinful life to be punished for sins. Who's to say what that is? What is sin? To me, my definition of sin is not living biblically if you believe that this is what God has written for us. I don't need to read a whole Bible to live by the 10 Commandments. If the 10 Commandments is what God wants us to live by, what's the purpose of this book? The Bible is a story book to me because that's what it do. It tells you stories. But the 10 Commandments is the rule of life. So I feel like as long as I'm living up to the 10 Commandments, I'm good.
Good. As long as you're not. Yeah.
They say your faith is not, it ain't got to be big as a mustard seed.
That's what it says.
Now, small a mustard seed is.
Yeah, they small. And it also says, be it done unto you according to your faith.
There you
So
go.
if that's what you believe,
There you go.
that's your faith.
And notice this, sister. That's why every time we talk, every time I do the show, every time I talk to people, I always say this, don't I? My belief.
Your belief, exactly.
That's where I'm not trying to make you believe what I believe.
Exactly. That's why I never, but you know what? That's why I never ever got into a religious conversation of being combative of
What's the purpose of
what
it?
you think is wrong and what I think is right.
That's your opinion.
And what
We
they
speak
say,
opinions, man.
opinions are like, everybody got one,
You
right?
understand what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm not gonna try to mislead nobody because of what I think or how I feel about something.
Right.
I'm just gonna tell you how I feel about it, and as I do all the time, I'm gonna tell you why I said it.
Exactly.
So you'll have understanding as to who I am.
Yep.
That's being real.
That's being real, nothing but the truth.
That's being real, man. You know, I have been put out of a church 2 times in my life.
Wow.
And when I tell this story, you know, it's actually funny to me. I did this in the church. It's funny to me because when I did it, the minister asked me to leave.
Whoa.
wow.
In front of everybody?
Hey, I ain't care. I was dead serious about what I said. I had a minister tell me one day, you gonna die and go to hell.
What?
I said, and who told you that?
Okay.
How are you so sure of that?
Right.
What have I done to give you the impression of that? And it was because I asked him a question. And the question I asked him was, who are you to stand in front of a congregation and say to men and women, husbands be subject to your wives, wives be subject to your husbands. And then you turn around and say, if your husband this and your husband that, you should leave him, or you should this and you should that. If y'all can't work it out this. First of all, you are a replica of God. You'll stand and tell me God don't make mistakes, but you'll give me utterly advice to say, if your woman ain't treating you right, leave her. No, that ain't how it go. Jesus worked problems out for people. That's what you're supposed to tell me. Work it out. Because see, if you decide to get married, they tell you go seek counseling. Who'd you get that counseling from? A minister.
Supposed to, yeah.
So if you're gonna tell me it's cool for me to marry this woman, how can you come back and contradict yourself and tell me I need to leave her?
Okay.
So you're a hypocrite. And that's what got put me out the church.
Who?
That word right there.
You told him he was a hypocrite?
Yeah. And when he asked me to leave the church, you know what I told him?
What?
I'm glad I done been put out of better. But that still make you a hypocrite.
Okay.
I'm gonna forgive you. How can you forgive me for something you heard? I said it, and I meant it. My second time of getting put out the church is, I done went to work all week. I get paid every 2 weeks. My girl want to go to church every Sunday. I'm a gambler. So this Friday, I done lose my check before I get home. So my take home pay didn't take me home that week. You know what I'm saying? So we sitting in the church, and we had a Toyota Corolla. Hey man, on the way to church, you know, she over there praying and I'm looking at the gas hand, bro. That mother on E. I'm talking about the extra E. That little E, they got all the shadows behind the E. So this weekend is communion time. And I asked God for forgiveness, you know, if I supposed to be forgiven for it. They passed the tray. All right, before service started, they passed the tray. She put $3 in the tray. I don't put nothing. Ain't got nothing. After we do the commune, they passed the tray. She put some change in the tray. She was one of them long, we just got to put some in there.
Yeah.
Hey man, he closed the doors of the church. Doors of the church is open.
Right.
Now, everybody got to walk around and pat the table if you got it, or put something in the tray. If you ain't got it, pat the table. If you got it, something, put it in the tray. Hey man, I got the same right. Yeah. I'm a church member.
Okay.
So when we walk around the tray, I'm thinking about, we got to get home, baby. Just get it, man, all the bread left. I reached in the tray and got a 10. Stuck it in my pocket. True story. Stuck it in my pocket. The deacon said, hey. I said, what's that? He said, you can't do that. You got to put that money back in the tray. I said, why? I need it. He said, you can't do that. So the minister standing up there looking at us, butt neck looking at us. He said, brother. I said, yes, sir. He said, you can't steal from God. I said, God ain't right here. I ain't stealing from God. I'm a servant of the Lord. I'm in need. Y'all say if you in need, don't be offended to ask.
Right.
I need this 10, man, because we ain't got no gas. I'm standing in front of him telling him this. Hey, man, we done used all the money coming here and putting it in the tray. I said, in all reality, Rail, I ain't really borrowing them from the church for $5 because we put the last 5 in the pan. He said, if you don't put that money back in that pan, I'm going to have to excuse you from the congregation. She said, Jeffrey, please put the, I said, hey, baby, listen. It's either we push our car home with our children in it, because we going to run out of gas. I said, or I just get excused from this congregation, and I can put some gas in the car, and we can make it home. And, you know, I found it's a lot of churches in this city.
Right.
He ain't putting you out. You more of a member than I am, so I don't do nothing but go to sleep in here anyway. I'm saying this right in front of them. The whole congregation looking at me, man. Hey, man. I said, well, Ralph, I guess I'm no longer a member of your church. And I started walking down the goddamn aisle, man. Ain't been back since.
Oh, God.
Now,
She was
hypocritical.
embarrassed. I'd have fainted.
Hypocritical. Man, that girl still blame me for that right to this day, say I was wrong.
I know she was embarrassed.
A year later, I'm at work, I'm pouring concrete. I'm curbing, brother. That's what it's called. Hey, man, I pull up in Twig Coat in Carver Home. We stayed in Carver Home. I see the minister car parked in front of one of the deacon house. I don't get no second thought. Hey, man, about 2 weeks after I seen this car, they were having revival. She said, I'm gonna ask, can you come to church for the revival, this, that, and that. She ain't had nobody, nothing, man. You know what I'm saying? So they want the money. Hey, man, the mother of the motorboat, which was his wife, told her, yeah, he can come back to church. He can come back and this, that, and the third. Hey, man, I'm talking about it got to be God. I go to church. Confession time. See, I'm like Steve Harvey with that confession. Somebody gonna give me one. You understand what I'm saying? Hey, man, one of the deacons worked for his brother doing the same thing, concrete. Hey, man, James Sr. got up in front of the congregation. He said, I just want to tell everybody, share what I went through this weekend, how God been good to me and how things, even through troubled times and this, that, and that. I'm talking about I can damn near quote everything he said, man. This is how much attention he had of mine. He said, but, I went to work and, we did this and me and Elder Cole quit. We had a nice time and we got a raise and he gave us a bonus from completing the job, all that old shit. Man, that man took the cake. What that man said, everybody, yeah, he said, but this is what I want to share with the church more. That motherfucker right there
Talking about you.
been sleeping with my wife.
Ooh.
Hey, man, you talking about ain't slept since. And rushed the pulpit.
Ooh.
I'm looking like, oh, that's why the car was over there.
At the same church that kick you out.
Wow.
Hey, man, the real bishop was sleeping with his wife, man.
Oh.
I'm talking about going over there, parking the car right in front of the door.
And
He
this
was
is-
that good with it.
This the same one that kick you out, right?
Yeah. Bishop Barnett, right down Washington Street.
You said God wasn't in there.
You hear me, man?
What?
That's crazy.
Went at him.
That's crazy for real.
I looked at my children mama, right? I said, you still mad at me? You understand what I'm saying? How mad you gonna be with him? Cause see, he done had you fooled for a long time.
Oh, that's funny.
You mad at him? Hey man, come on, bro. We gotta be careful of who we worship with
And who we judge too.
and who we judge.
Right. And who we think are our leaders, you know. Because like I said, prior to the Young Thug case, people who I thought were leaders, people who I would have looked up to, people who I've been on front lines protesting with.
Thank you.
When that happened and to see the disappointment and some of them not as outraged as we were about the injustice, it makes me have a whole different view of people now, and that's how I think about.
And that's why I give Shanita a lot of respect. Because let me tell you something, bro, and this to add to her story with me. She used to beg me to go see these people. And I used to always tell her, girl, them folks ain't right. Them folks. I said, I tell you what, I'm going to go just so I can show you. This is how much she believed in our system. Just talk to him, Big Jeff. I done talked to what his name was, Greg's, and all this old shit. I said, okay, I'll go. Tell me what time I need to be there. We get there, talk to these folks about all the rights these folks done violated.
We had Kevin Lyles in the
thank you.
The interview with us.
He was there.
Hey man,
virtually.
The head honcho looked at me in my face, bro. Guess what he said to me? What you want us to do about it? I said nothing. I just wanted to show them that y'all ain't no shit.
You sure did.
You understand what I'm saying?
I was like, my mouth just dropped like.
So
wow.
But that come from paying attention. Everybody can make something look good.
Yeah, right.
But metaphor.
Right.
Our parents done told us all our life. Everything look good, so it ain't actually good for you.
Everything that glitters ain't always gold.
Hey man, I live off of that type of shit.
Salt and sugar look the same.
I live off of it. That's what has gotten me to the point I'm at now. Because I'm not easily manipulated.
Exactly,
like
me too. And I
And
think,
that's our biggest
and
problem.
as much admiration that he has for me, I have the same for him to see how he fought for his child. Man.
We are too easily manipulated.
Against everything.
So that's what make our people be like they be. They bought it into it.
Yeah.
Right.
And you don't tell. And now, like he said, you can't give me chocolate. You can't give me shit and say it's chocolate now.
Thank you.
Because once you go through what you've been through, can't nobody tell you no different. I don't care what they say. We know we were there.
We were there.
Once you go through certain stuff,
Yeah.
you can't undo it. Once you see certain things, you can't unsee it.
So we gotta keep fighting, man.
Right.
And keep talking about it. Keep it in the air.
Got to, man.
Got to, cause sooner or later somebody here.
So we gonna go
Then
ahead.
then I be hating when people give you advice on something about what you should do, knowing damn well they wouldn't do that.
Exactly.
You can't tell me, you can't give me advice on something anywhere if you ain't been through
You ain't been through it, exactly. That's a
You
fact.
ain't been through it, man. You can give me your opinion, but if you haven't actually been through it, hey man, come on, man.
Exactly.
What you can tell me, bro? I went through it. I lived it. I can give you my experience and try to give you gratification that I just gotta keep fighting. I gotta keep making a stand.
Right.
Exactly.
Man, you can go right now and file a petition against law enforcement. The same way they can do
That's
it.
what I told him. I said, if worse comes
I
to
don't
worse,
want y'all
find
near
your
my
own.
house, man.
Exactly.
If I ain't called you.
Exactly.
You can put a TP on them too. They got it's you can do toward them too. So you gotta keep fighting, man. Somebody sooner or later listen, man, and hear you.
And we're gonna let you close the show, Big Jig, and we're gonna play your song at the end. You got anything?
Sovereign and sister.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is Big Jig.
And this is Shanita.
And This is Big Jeff of No Days Off Radio Production coming to you live from the #1 show in the land. Nothing but the truth. And we're gonna let Big Jid take us home. Take us home, Big Jid.
So salute to everybody that's been tapped in with us, man. You know, anybody that's trying to get at me, man, make sure you get at me at BIGG_JIGG. And I'm, you know, keep me in your prayers, man. Y'all know my slogan, man. If you don't know the name, take the chain. It's Big G, baby.
Butterfly.